Welcome to Senior Health, where we believe that growing older can mean growing stronger, wiser, and healthier every day. Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly felt like you forgot why you were there? Or maybe you find yourself slowing down halfway through the day, not because you did too much, but because your energy just faded. If you're over 60, that feeling isn't unusual. In fact, it's incredibly common. But here's the thing. Just because it's common doesn't mean it's something you have to accept. 1. Why energy declines after 60 and what you can do. Let's talk about why energy often declines after 60 and what you can do, starting today, to bring some of it back. The truth is, there's no single reason why we feel more tired as we age. It's a combination of changes happening inside the body, changes in muscles, hormones, digestion, and even how your cells turn food into fuel. One of the biggest reasons, muscle loss. As we age, we naturally begin to lose muscle mass, a process called sarcopenia. It can start as early as our 30s or 40s, but it tends to speed up after 60. The less muscle you have, the harder it is for your body to stay strong and energized. Why? Because muscles aren't just for lifting or walking. They're actually one of the key players in your body's energy system. Muscles help manage blood sugar, regulate metabolism, and even influence how you feel mentally. That brings us to another big factor, metabolism. You've probably heard that metabolism slows down with age, and that's true. Your body doesn't burn calories as quickly as it once did. This means that even if your diet hasn't changed much, you might still feel sluggish or gain weight more easily. But more importantly, a slower metabolism can make you feel like you're running on half a tank even if you're eating enough. And speaking of eating, how your body absorbs nutrients changes, too. After 60, many people have lower levels of stomach acid. That may not sound like a big deal, but you need stomach acid to absorb essential nutrients like vitamin B12, magnesium, iron, and calcium. Without enough of these, your body might not be able to create energy as efficiently, leading to symptoms like fatigue, weakness, and brain fog. Vitamin B12, in particular, is critical. It supports red blood cell formation and helps keep your nerves healthy. Yet B12 absorption becomes less effective with age. A deficiency can cause tiredness, confusion, even depression, but it's often missed because the symptoms are subtle and build up slowly over time. Another quiet culprit, blood sugar imbalances. Even if you don't have diabetes, changes in insulin sensitivity can make your blood sugar less stable. You might feel fine after eating, then suddenly crash an hour later. Or you might feel jittery and weak if you go too long without a meal. These ups and downs can make it hard to maintain steady energy throughout the day. And let's not forget sleep. Hormonal changes, pain, medications, and stress can all interfere with sleep quality. And poor sleep only makes fatigue worse, creating a cycle that's hard to break. So yes, there are biological reasons energy declines after 60, but here's the good news. You have more control than you think. The food you eat, how you move your body, and even how you manage your water intake can all have a profound effect on how you feel, not just for a few hours, but across the entire day. Let's focus today on food, because food is one of the most powerful and accessible ways to influence your energy. And no, I'm not talking about energy drinks or sugar snacks or more caffeine. I'm talking about real food. Food that feeds your muscles, fuels your brain, supports your blood, and keeps your body humming quietly in the background like it's meant to. In this video, we're going to walk through 5 key foods or food groups that can help restore and support your energy after 60. Each one is backed by research, loved by cultures around the world, and easy to find in your local grocery store. These foods won't just give you a temporary lift, they'll help your body function better overall, giving you more consistent energy, better focus, and a stronger sense of well-being. But before we dive into those foods, I want you to pause and reflect on something. What would you do with a little more energy each day? Would you go for that morning walk without hesitation? Read longer without your eyes feeling heavy? Join your friends for an evening out without worrying about how tired you'll feel the next morning. Energy isn't about doing more. It's about having enough fuel to do what matters to you. And for many people, the path to that fuel starts with breakfast. That's why the first food we'll explore next is something you've probably seen 1,000 times, but maybe never appreciated quite this way. Oats. Simple, affordable, versatile, and incredibly powerful when it comes to managing blood sugar, supporting digestion, and giving your body the kind of energy that doesn't crash. We'll talk about the types of oats that work best, how to prepare them for maximum benefit, and how to build a morning routine around them that sets your day up for success. But even beyond oats, everything we'll cover today is centered on one simple truth. The more you understand how your body works after 60, the more empowered you are to take care of it gently, intentionally, and joyfully. So if you've been feeling tired more often than you'd like, if you've noticed that your get up and go isn't quite what it used to be, stay with me, because energy doesn't just come from what you eat. It comes from how you live. It comes from the quiet choices you make, meal by meal, moment by moment. And it's never too late to start making choices that support the vibrant, capable, and active version of you that still lives inside. So let's begin with food as our guide, science as our compass, and your well-being as the goal. Coming up, oats, your new morning ally. 2. Oats, the perfect morning starter. Let's talk about mornings, because how you start your day, especially after 60, can have a bigger impact than you might think. Your first meal doesn't just fill your stomach. It sends a message to your body. Here's the fuel you have to work with today. So if your mornings begin with coffee and toast, or maybe just coffee, and sometimes nothing at all, you might be missing a huge opportunity to support your energy in a gentle, steady, and long-lasting way. And that's where oats come in. Now, oats might not sound exciting. They're not exotic. They're not trendy. But don't be fooled. This humble whole grain is a quiet champion of energy and health, especially for older adults. Let's start with what oats actually do in your body. Oats are packed with soluble fiber, specifically a type called beta-glucan. This fiber slows down how your body digests carbohydrates, meaning that instead of spiking your blood sugar and dropping you into an energy crash, an hour later, oats release energy slowly and steadily over time. It's like burning a slow, clean log in a fireplace instead of throwing in kindling that flares up and disappears. That kind of slow, steady energy is exactly what your body needs after 60. Because as we age, our ability to manage blood sugar becomes less efficient. Our insulin sensitivity declines. And when our blood sugar swings up and down, it doesn't just affect our physical energy, it affects our brain, too. You feel fuzzy, moody, sleepy, and maybe even a little anxious. Oats help protect you from that roller coaster. They help your body stay balanced. But that's just the beginning. Oats are also a good source of vitamin B1, also known as thiamine. This vitamin is essential for converting food into usable energy. It plays a key role in your metabolism, especially how your body breaks down carbohydrates. And thiamine deficiency, which is more common in older adults than you might think, can lead to fatigue, irritability, and difficulty concentrating. So when you eat oats in the morning, you're not just eating calories, you're giving your body a tool to actually use those calories effectively. Let me tell you about Tom. Tom is 67. He's a retired mechanic and a morning person. Always up at 6 a.m., but by 9:30, he said he was already dragging. He used to have just a slice of toast and coffee, maybe peanut butter if he was feeling fancy. When we switched him to a bowl of oats, cooked in almond milk with a few walnuts and blueberries on top, he was skeptical. 2 weeks later, he told me, "I still get tired. I mean, I'm not 30, but now I don't crash. I just go all morning." And his mood, more even, he said, less grumpy. My wife says, that's what I love about oats. They're simple, but when you eat them with intention, not just out of habit, they can shift your whole day. Let's talk types of oats, because not all oats are the same. The best choices are steel-cut oats and old-fashioned rolled oats. These are the least processed, and they retain the most fiber and nutrients. They take a bit longer to cook, but they're worth it. Instant oats, especially the flavored ones that come in packets, are often stripped of fiber and loaded with sugar. They'll spike your blood sugar and leave you feeling tired again an hour later. If convenience is important to you, there's a better way, and I'll share it in just a moment. Here's how to make oats part of your life, without a lot of fuss. If you like warm meals in the morning, Try cooking a batch of steel-cut oats at the beginning of the week. They reheat beautifully with a splash of milk or water. Keep them in the fridge and scoop out a portion each day. If you're more of a cold breakfast person, or if you don't want to cook overnight, oats are a fantastic option. Just combine rolled oats with your favorite milk, a bit of fruit, and maybe a spoonful of chia seeds. Let it soak overnight in the fridge, and it's ready to eat when you wake up. Now, let's talk toppings. Because oats by themselves are nice, but when you add other nourishing foods on top, that's when they really shine. If you want more protein, add a spoonful of Greek yogurt or a sprinkle of hemp seeds. If you want healthy fats, try almond butter, chopped walnuts, or ground flaxseed. For natural sweetness, sliced bananas, berries, or even a small handful of raisins can do the trick. No need for sugar. And if you're watching your digestion, consider soaking your oats overnight, even before cooking them. Soaking helps break down something called phytic acid, which can interfere with mineral absorption and make oats easier on your stomach. Now, some people tell me they don't eat breakfast because they're just not hungry in the morning, and that's okay. But I always ask, how's your energy mid-morning? Do you find yourself reaching for snacks, feeling lightheaded or irritable? If so, that might be your body asking for something more stable, and oats could be the answer. Others say, oats just don't taste good to me. To them, I say, don't give up after one try. Oats are a blank canvas. If they taste bland, that just means they're waiting for your touch. Cinnamon, nutmeg, coconut flakes, a few chopped dates. You can make oats as comforting or exciting as you want them to be. There's one more reason I recommend oats to older adults: digestive health. The soluble fiber in oats helps feed the good bacteria in your gut. That means better digestion, less constipation, and improved immune function. It also helps lower cholesterol, especially the bad cholesterol that increases with age. So, not only are oats giving you energy, they're supporting your heart, your gut, and your brain in the process. Let me tell you about Margaret, age 72. She had tried oats before but said they made her feel too full. We worked on her portion size, just a half cup dry oats, cooked and added warm water, cinnamon, and a few chopped apples. It feels like a hug, she said. And more importantly, I don't feel hungry until lunchtime. That's the power of slow fuel. So, here's my invitation to you. Tomorrow morning, give oats a chance. Try one of the methods we've talked about. Maybe a warm bowl, maybe a jar of overnight oats, whatever works for you, but eat it with presence. Notice how it feels in your body. Watch how your energy holds up mid-morning. You might be surprised, because sometimes it's the quietest habits, the ones we overlook, that make the biggest difference in how we feel. Coming up next, we're going to explore a group of foods that are just as humble, but no less powerful. Leafy greens. They're not just for salads. They're for your blood, your brain, and your energy. And they might be the missing link in your daily routine. Let's keep going. You're doing great. 3. Leafy greens, iron plus folate for red blood cell production. And now, let's talk about one of the simplest, most accessible ways to build your energy, not with sugar or stimulants, but with something green, earthy, and full of life. I'm talking about leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula, collards, romaine, Swiss chard. Maybe you've eaten them for years, or maybe you've avoided them because they seem a little too healthy. But here's what I want you to know. Leafy greens aren't just healthy, they're energizing. And they do it quietly, from the inside out. Let's talk about how, every time your heart beats, it's pushing blood through your body, blood that carries oxygen to your brain, muscles, organs. That oxygen is what keeps you alive, alert, and active. But your blood can only carry oxygen if it has enough healthy red blood cells. And to make those red blood cells, your body needs two key nutrients: iron and folate. Leafy greens provide both. Now, iron comes in two forms: heme iron, found mostly in meat, and non-heme iron, which comes from plants. Leafy greens contain non-heme iron. It's a little harder for your body to absorb, but that doesn't make it any less important, especially if you're eating the right combinations of food to help absorb it. And here's where it gets really smart. Many leafy greens, especially spinach and kale, don't just have iron. They also have vitamin C, which actually helps your body absorb more of the iron. It's like nature designed them to work together. Let's say you have a spinach salad with sliced oranges or bell peppers, both high in vitamin C. You're not just getting a refreshing lunch, you're helping your body build more red blood cells, carry more oxygen, and deliver more energy to every part of you, naturally. Now, let's talk about folate, also known as vitamin B9. Folate helps your body make new red blood cells and repair DNA. It's essential for energy at the cellular level. Without enough folate, your cells can't function at full strength. You might feel weak, mentally slow, or emotionally flat, and not really know why. That's what makes leafy greens so special. They quietly support some of your body's deepest functions, carrying oxygen, renewing blood, powering your brain. I want to introduce you to Diane. Diane is 70 and active walks every day, volunteers at her church, and loves crossword puzzles. But a few months ago, she came to me feeling off. "I'm not myself," she said. "I sleep fine, but I'm still tired. I just feel slow." Her blood tests showed she wasn't anemic, but she was low in both iron and folate. She admitted that she didn't eat many greens. "They don't taste like much," she said. We made one change, a daily serving of leafy greens. She could choose the form: a green smoothie, a kale stir-fry, a spinach salad with fruit. 3 weeks later, she was glowing. "I'm still 70, she laughed, "but I feel 5 years younger." What Diane experienced wasn't a miracle. It was her body getting the nutrients it needed to do its job. Now, if you're wondering how to eat more greens without getting bored, here are some simple ways. Add a handful of spinach to your morning eggs or smoothie. Toss arugula onto your sandwich or wrap. Mix shredded kale into soups or stews. Try sautéed greens with garlic and olive oil as a side dish. Use romaine or collard leaves instead of bread for a fresh, crunchy wrap. One of my favorite ideas: a greens bowl, warm brown rice, or quinoa topped with sautéed greens, a boiled egg or grilled chicken, and a light vinaigrette. It's simple, filling, and packed with energy. Now, some people are concerned about oxalates compounds found in spinach and other greens that can interfere with calcium absorption or contribute to kidney stones. And yes, if you've had kidney stones before, especially the calcium oxalate kind, it's something to be mindful of. But for most people, eating a variety of greens, not just spinach every day, is perfectly safe. Rotating between kale, collards, arugula, romaine, and others can help you get all the benefits without overloading any one compound. Another common question is whether it's better to eat greens raw or cooked. And the answer is, both are great, and each has unique benefits. Raw greens retain more vitamin C and enzymes. Cooked greens, especially lightly steamed or sautéed, break down fiber and can help your body absorb certain minerals better. Plus, they're easier to digest for some people. If chewing is a challenge, or if you have dentures, cooked greens might be more comfortable. A simple sauté with olive oil, garlic, and a pinch of salt makes a beautiful, energizing side dish. And if you enjoy smoothies, blending greens with fruit is a wonderful way to pack in nutrients without tasting the green. One of my favorite blends: spinach, banana, almond milk, and a spoonful of chia seeds. It's light, delicious, and deeply nourishing. Let me also say, leafy greens aren't just about iron and folate. They're also full of potassium, calcium, fiber, and antioxidants. All of these help reduce inflammation, improve digestion, and protect your cells from aging. They're not a magic bullet, but they are a quiet, powerful foundation. Every time you eat leafy greens, you're doing something kind for your blood. You're giving your heart a little less work to do. You're telling your brain, "I'm here to help you focus." You're giving your body what it needs to generate natural, lasting energy. You don't have to become a green person overnight. But what if you just started with one handful a day? One handful of spinach in your eggs, one scoop of kale in your soup, one small salad before dinner. You'd be surprised what a difference that can make in just a week or two. Remember, your energy doesn't just depend on age. It depends on what you feed your body and how you support the systems that power it. And few foods support your energy better than leafy greens. So give them a place at your table. Make them part of your daily rhythm. And listen to how your body responds. Coming up next, we'll explore a food that comes not from the garden, but from the sea. Fatty fish. We'll talk about omega-3's South brain health and how the right kinds of fish can help you feel more focused, more balanced, and and more alive, inside and out. 4. Fatty fish omega-3 South for brain and energy metabolism. We've talked about the warmth of oats, the quiet strength of leafy greens. Now let's take a deep breath and head towards something rich, silky, and often overlooked in our day-to-day diet, fatty fish. If I could recommend just one type of protein for people over 60 that supports the entire body, from the brain to the heart to the joints, it would be fatty fish. Why? Because fatty fish aren't just protein. They're a complete energy package. Let me explain. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, mackerel, trout, and herring are rich in a special kind of fat called omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA eicosapentaenoic acid and DHA docosahexaenoic acid. These are essential fats, meaning your body cannot produce them on its own. You must get them from food, and what they do inside your body is nothing short of remarkable. Let's start with the brain. Your brain is almost 60% fat by weight, and much of that fat is DHA. This omega-3 helps maintain the flexibility of brain cell membranes, allowing signals to pass smoothly from one neuron to the next. It supports memory, focus, and even emotional balance. After 60, the brain naturally starts to shrink slightly. Blood flow can slow down. Inflammation can rise. All of this affects how sharp, clear, and emotionally steady we feel. That's where DHA and EPA come in. They help reduce inflammation, improve blood flow, and protect brain cells from damage. There's a reason people who eat fish regularly tend to have lower risks of Alzheimer's disease, depression, and cognitive decline. Let me tell you about Gloria. She's 73 and still teaches piano part-time. A year ago, she told me she felt mentally cluttered, not confused, exactly, just a little foggy, a little slow. I feel like my brain isn't firing the way it used to, she said. We looked at her diet, and there was almost no omega-3 South, no fish. She said she didn't like the smell. I asked her to try wild salmon once a week, just once, and sardines, packed in olive oil, once for lunch. No pressure, just try. 3 weeks later, she told me she'd started remembering things more easily. She finished her crosswords again. I'm not saying it's a miracle, she said, but I feel more like me. That's the kind of change we want, not magic, but meaning. But omega-3 South don't just help the brain. They help your energy metabolism at a cellular level. Inside every cell, there are tiny engines called mitochondria. These engines take nutrients and convert them into ATP, the molecule your body uses as energy. When your mitochondria are damaged by aging, poor diet, inflammation, they can't work efficiently. You might eat enough, even sleep enough, and still feel tired. Omega-3 South protect those mitochondria. They keep cell membranes flexible, reduce oxidative stress, and help your body turn food into usable, lasting energy. And the benefits don't stop there. Fatty fish are also high in protein to support muscle maintenance and repair, rich in vitamin D, which boosts mood, bone strength, and immune function, full of selenium, a mineral that supports thyroid health and antioxidant defense. Naturally low in carbs, helping stabilize blood sugar, especially when paired with vegetables or whole grains. That's why I call fatty fish a whole body food. So, how do you get more of it? The goal is 2 servings per week. A serving is about 3 to 4 ounces, about the size of a deck of cards. You can bake, grill, steam, or saute. You can also buy canned versions for convenience, like wild salmon, mackerel, or sardines. They're shelf-stable, affordable, and just as nutritious. Don't worry, you don't need to make fancy seafood recipes. Try this. Bake a salmon fillet with olive oil, lemon juice, and rosemary. Make a sardine salad with mustard, chopped celery, and whole grain toast. Mix canned mackerel with brown rice and steamed broccoli for a quick dinner, or simply enjoy tuna with avocado in a lettuce wrap. Easy, light, and energizing. If you're concerned about mercury, here's what you need to know. Large, predatory fish, like shark, swordfish, king mackerel, can have high levels of mercury, but smaller, cold water fish like salmon, sardines, and herring are low in mercury and safe to eat, even for older adults, even multiple times per week. Some people ask about fish oil supplements, and yes, they're an option if you truly can't eat fish, but food always comes first. Because fish gives you more than just omega-3 South. It gives you protein, vitamin D, selenium, and a full nutritional package that supplements can't fully match. Now, what if you don't like fish? I hear that a lot. And the good news is, your taste can change. Try different types, different cooking methods. Start mild like baked salmon or canned tuna with herbs. Try seasoning it like chicken. You might be surprised how your body learns to crave what it needs. Let me share one more story. Daniel, 76, hadn't eaten fish in over 30 years. He grew up on fried catfish and thought all fish tasted like that. When I explained the benefits and offered him a recipe for roasted salmon with garlic and lemon, he said, "I'll do it once, for science." That was 4 months ago. He now eats fish twice a week and says it's become one of the easiest ways he supports his brain. "It's like my engine's running cleaner," he said. And that's what this is all about. Fatty fish fuel your brain, reduce inflammation, support your heart, protect your cells, and help you create steady, reliable energy from the inside out. So whether you're feeling mentally foggy, physically drained, or just curious about how to support yourself, better consider making room for fatty fish in your week. Not because it's trendy, but because it's time-tested, scientifically proven, and deeply healing, especially after 60. Up next, we're going to look at something smaller, but no less powerful: nuts and seeds. These tiny powerhouses offer healthy fats, plant protein, magnesium, and energy that lasts. You'll see how just one handful a day can make a big difference. 5. Nuts and seeds, healthy fats, plus magnesium, plus protein. Now, let's talk about something small. So small, in fact, that it often gets overlooked. I'm talking about nuts and seeds. At first glance, they might not look like much. Just tiny bites of food you keep in your pantry. But when it comes to supporting energy, real, stable, body and mind energy, they're some of the most powerful foods you can eat. Let's start with their healthy fats. Nuts and seeds are full of monosaturated and polyunsaturated fats, the kind your heart and brain love. These fats are essential for keeping your cells flexible, your joints cushioned, and your inflammation low. They don't clog your arteries or spike your cholesterol. In fact, research shows that people who eat a handful of nuts daily have a lower risk of heart disease, better blood sugar balance, and fewer energy crashes throughout the day. Let's take a moment to talk about magnesium. Magnesium is one of the most important minerals in your body. It's involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions, many of which are related to energy production. It helps your muscles contract, your nerves send signals, and your cells turn food into fuel. And guess what? Magnesium deficiency is incredibly common in people over 60. The symptoms are subtle at first: a little more fatigue, a little less sleep, maybe more muscle tension or headaches. But over time, low magnesium can really start to drag you down. Nuts and seeds, especially pumpkin seeds, almonds, cashews, and chia seeds, are magnesium-rich powerhouses. Just a small handful can supply a quarter or more of your daily needs. And they're not just about fat and minerals. They also offer plant-based protein, which is so important as we age. Protein helps maintain muscle mass, support immune function, and keep blood sugar steady. When paired with healthy fats, it also helps you feel full and satisfied without needing large portions or extra calories. Let me tell you about Linda. She's 69 and used to feel exhausted every afternoon. Even though she ate a good breakfast and lunch, she said, "I don't snack, but by 3 p.m., I'm always ready to nap." When I asked what she did eat between meals, she said, "Maybe crackers or a cookie if I get hungry." We swapped those out for a small snack of almonds and pumpkin seeds, with a few dried cranberries for flavor. Just one palm-sized portion, around 2 p.m., and guess what? No more crash. She told me, "I don't even want coffee in the afternoon anymore. I feel stable, like I'm not running out of steam." That's what the right snack can do. It doesn't just satisfy you, it supports your body. Now let's talk specifics. What kinds of nuts and seeds should you eat? Here are some great choices. Almonds, full of vitamin E, magnesium, and fiber. Walnuts, rich in plant-based omega-3 south, great for brain health. Pumpkin seeds, high in magnesium, zinc, and protein. Chia seeds, loaded with fiber, omega-3 segundos, and minerals. Flax seeds, rich in lignans, and ILA, a form of omega-3. Sunflower seeds, a source of selenium and vitamin E. A good daily amount, about 1 ounce, or a small handful. You don't need more than that. It's not about eating big, it's about eating smart. If you're watching calories or managing weight, rest assured, studies consistently show that nuts don't promote weight gain when eaten in small amounts. In fact, they help people feel full and eat less overall. But here's a key tip. Choose unsalted, unflavored, and dry roasted or raw nuts. Avoid the honey glazed, heavily salted, or oil fried varieties. Those additives can cancel out many of the health benefits. And if you have trouble chewing or don't enjoy crunchy textures, no problem. Nut butters are a wonderful alternative. Natural peanut butter, almond butter, sunflower seed butter. Just spread a tablespoon on a banana, some whole grain toast, or even dip apple slices into it. It's creamy, comforting, and packed with energy. Or, try chia pudding made by soaking chia seeds in almond milk overnight with cinnamon and a touch of honey. It turns into a smooth, easy-to-eat dish that's great for digestion and energy. Now let's talk about how to build these into your day. Start small. Add chopped walnuts to your oatmeal. Sprinkle sunflower seeds on your salad. Mix flaxseed into yogurt. Or keep a little container of mixed nuts in your bag for when you're out running errands or waiting at the doctor's office. If you're someone who skips meals or tends to grab whatever's easiest, let nuts and seeds be your healthy fast food. They don't need to be cooked. They don't need to be refrigerated. They're simple, portable, and ready when you are. Let me share one last story. Charles, 75, said he used to feel drained by dinner time when we added a late afternoon snack, just a tablespoon of almond butter on a slice of apple. His energy evened out. He said, "I thought I was just getting old. But now I realize I was underfueling." That's the difference. We often blame age for things that are really about nutrition, small nutrient gaps that, when filled, can completely change how we feel. So here's my invitation. Find a nut or seed you enjoy, keep it on hand, make it a part of your day, just once, and pay attention to how your body responds. You might feel more focused, more calm, more satisfied between meals, or just a little more alive. Energy after 60 isn't about more caffeine, more food, more effort. It's about better choices, better fuel, and better rhythm. Nuts and seeds offer that, in a form that's natural, compact, and deeply nourishing. Coming up next, we'll round out this journey with a final piece that almost no one talks about, but that might be the single most important factor for your energy and well-being: hydration. Because no matter how well you eat, your body can't use nutrients properly if you're even a little bit dehydrated. 6. Hydration, the energy we often forget now. I want to bring your attention to something that's not even considered a food, but may be the most fundamental piece of your energy puzzle. It's water. Hydration. That one simple, quiet element you've been hearing about your whole life, but maybe haven't fully appreciated until now. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt tired, sluggish, or foggy, and blamed it on a bad night's sleep, or age, or just a low-energy day? What if I told you that mild dehydration could be the cause, and that just 1 or 2 more glasses of water might make a difference? You see, your body is made up of more than 50% water. Your blood, your brain, your muscles, even your skin. Water isn't just something you drink when you're thirsty. It's the medium in which everything else works. And yet, most people, especially those over 60, are chronically underhydrated. Let's talk about why that happens. As we age, our sense of thirst becomes weaker. The brain simply doesn't send the same "I'm thirsty" signal as clearly as it used to. By the time you actually feel parched, you might already be dehydrated. Plus, many older adults take medications like diuretics or blood pressure pills that increase fluid loss. Others may limit water on purpose to avoid frequent trips to the bathroom, especially at night. The result: a slow, quiet drying out of the body that can leave you feeling tired, dizzy, mentally dull, and emotionally flat. The symptoms of even mild dehydration can look like this: fatigue, headaches, lightheadedness when standing, constipation, dry mouth or lips, muscle cramps, poor focus, or short-term memory issues. Sound familiar? It's no coincidence. Water helps deliver nutrients to your cells, remove waste, regulate temperature, and lubricate joints. It plays a direct role in how much energy you feel, physically and mentally. Let me tell you about Frank. He's 78 and used to fall asleep reading his morning newspaper. He thought it was just age, but when we tracked his fluid intake, we realized he was only drinking about 2 cups of water a day. The rest was coffee and maybe a glass of juice. We made one change: a glass of water first thing in the morning, one mid-morning, one mid-afternoon, and a half glass in the evening. After just 1 week, he told me, "It's subtle, but I feel more present, more awake." That's hydration at work. So, how much water do you need? For most adults, 6 to 8 8-ounce cups a day is a good target. That's about 1.5 to 2 liters. But remember, this includes water and water-rich foods and drinks. And here's the good news: water doesn't have to be boring. If you're not a fan of plain water, try infused water with slices of cucumber, lemon, orange, or mint. You can prepare a big pitcher in the morning and sip throughout the day. Or try herbal teas like chamomile, ginger, peppermint, or rooibos. They're caffeine-free, soothing, and hydrating. You can even eat your water. That's right, many fruits and vegetables are over 90% water. Here are some hydrating foods you can add: watermelon, cucumber, celery, strawberries, lettuce, zucchini, oranges, tomatoes, bell peppers. Soups and broths are also excellent, especially in colder months, when you naturally drink less. And if you like smoothies, that's another great opportunity to combine hydration with nutrients. A spinach and berry smoothie with almond milk and chia seeds gives you water, fiber, and energy, all in one glass. Let's address a common concern: "But I don't want to be running to the bathroom all day." That's fair and totally understandable. But your bladder can adapt over time. Start with smaller amounts of water more often, like half a cup every hour, and try to stop drinking fluids 1 to 2 hours before bed to avoid nighttime trips. Also, as your kidneys function better with hydration, you may notice fewer UTIs, better blood pressure, and even improved digestion. Yes, water helps keep your bowels moving, preventing constipation, and making you feel lighter and more comfortable. Let me share one more story. Marion, 74, was always bloated and tired. She avoided water because she didn't want to feel full or gassy. But we started small, just 2 sips every hour, plus a cup of herbal tea in the evening. She called me 2 weeks later and said, "My stomach isn't tight anymore. I thought it was food, but I think it was dryness." Here's what I tell all my patients: water is not extra. Water is essential. It doesn't just help with energy, it amplifies the benefits of everything else you do. Eat oats. Water helps move the fiber through your system. Eat leafy greens. Water helps your blood deliver the iron. Eat fish and nuts. Water supports your kidneys and liver to metabolize those fats and proteins. Without enough water, your nutrients can't do their job. So here's my suggestion: start each day with 1 glass of water. Before coffee, before breakfast, just water. Pair water with your meals. 1 glass per meal is 3 cups already. Add 1 cup in the afternoon when energy tends to dip. Try herbal tea in the evening to wind down. That alone could give you 6 cups, easily, gently, and without effort. Track it if you need to. Use a water bottle you love. Set a reminder, or simply build it into your existing routines. Brush your teeth, then drink water. Eat a snack, drink water. Take your meds, drink water. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Your body will thank you. Your brain will thank you. And your energy will reflect it. Hydration is not flashy. It's not trendy. It's not expensive. But it's one of the most powerful tools you have for restoring energy, clarity, and vitality after 60. And it's never too late to start. So here we are. We've spent this time together walking through 5 simple, powerful ways to bring more energy into your life after 60. Not with pills, not with quick fixes, but with real food, gentle choices, and a little bit of care. Let's take a breath and remember what we've learned. We started with oats, humble and steady. They give you slow-burning energy that lasts through the morning, not flashy, just consistent, like a strong foundation for your day. Then we added leafy greens packed with iron and folate, quietly rebuilding your red blood cells and helping oxygen flow through every part of you. We moved into the richness of the sea, fatty fish like salmon and sardines, full of omega-3s south to feed your brain, soothe your heart, and protect your cells from the inside out. We grabbed a small handful of nuts and seeds, tiny treasures, full of healthy fats, magnesium, and protein that keep you grounded, stable, and satisfied between meals. And finally, we brought it all together with the most essential ingredient of all, hydration, simple water, the quiet force that makes everything else work. None of these are extreme. None of them require perfection. And that's the point. You don't have to change everything. You don't have to get it all right. You just need to begin. One small choice. One food swap. One glass of water. One new breakfast. One handful of greens. Because energy after 60 isn't about pushing harder. It's about fueling wiser. It's about listening to your body, honoring what it needs, and giving it a little more of what supports and a little less of what drains. And the beauty of it, your body still wants to help you. It wants to heal, to grow, to move, to think clearly. It's just waiting for you to give it the tools to do so. So here's my final message to you today. You are not too old to change. You are not too tired to improve. You are not too late to feel better. The energy you want to walk further, laugh longer, remember sharper, live brighter, is still there. Maybe hidden, maybe quiet, but it's there. And you have the power to wake it up, gently, day by day, bite by bite. Thanks for spending your time with us here at Senior Health. Remember, your health journey isn't about perfection. It's about progress, one gentle step at a time. If today's video brought you clarity or comfort, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with someone who might benefit. We're here to grow healthier, together. See you next time, and until then, stay kind to your body and your mind.